stylish U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. It's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating the offense, a 6'5" quarterback from Wyoming.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Ben Gideon coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On play action, Allen. He's going to air one out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 3rd down, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And the Bills getting set to go. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end. And now it's 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Green, 39. Green.
From the gun, it's Allen. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Aho. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
It's not often that you get 19-year-olds that enter the NFL, but this guy is absolutely special. Tremaine Edmonds out of Virginia Tech, 6'4", 250-plus pounds.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Lorenzo Alexander coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Well, getting to the quarterback, that's an area Buffalo really wants to improve this season.
Hard to believe they went to the playoffs last year. Just 27 sacks on the season. Would that rank in the league? 29th
Tied
overall?
for 29th,
Tied
yeah.
for 29th. If they want to get back to the playoffs, they'll have to up that number deep into the...
And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
3 weeks, 3 touchdowns. It's obvious they've looked his way early and often in the red zone this year, and that's usually a pretty good place to find a tight end in the NFL.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you, right? Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guy, had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now the first carry for the former Jaguar. This is Chris Ivory. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And able to find Curley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Another run. This time it's Ivory. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And caught by Curley. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. 1 quarter down. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early. So that'll back them up 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Holmes. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Here we go. Green 39. Green.
And again, it's Allen. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
So they get pushed back to the 11. And here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll go backwards here. Losing yardage to the 14. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, We have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Trent Murphy, the one to bring him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On play action, Cousins. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kyle Williams able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Cousins now. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Murphy now to return. Fights him off.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now flags will come in. One of the Bills
False
got
start.
going a little
Offense.
early. And that'll set them back 5.
Still 1st down.
A full start back. They go play action here on 1st down. They go over the middle here to Curley. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen underneath to Ivory. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go now. 319.
Now Allen on third down. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it fourth down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Trent Murphy in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Murphy, Charles, missed all of last year with that knee injury. Says he feels healthy. He sure looked healthy there.
Had 9 sacks in his last full season, 2016. Can also cover people out of the backfield when they run pass routes. Trent Murphy's an excellent addition.
Second down, Cousins. They'll roll him out right. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to run with Ivory. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're
Still
exactly
second down.
right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Allen throwing on second down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
And here's Allen operating from the gun. And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Here comes Sherrills. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 77 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Carlson now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Stays on his feet. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go. 3-19.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start our tour with a trip to FedEx Field, where we find Green Bay on the road to take on Washington. And as they approach halftime, it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. Jamison Crowder, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Julio Jones, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. In that game, level as they take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts.
And we will skip the Highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Here comes Sherrills. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Cousins now on second down. Gonna let it fly and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
3rd and long for Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Morgan. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The kick by Carlson is good. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Ivory. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. To the air, Allen over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Here's Sherrills. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Lorenzo Alexander in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by Ivory. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Allen to throw it, and this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Shane Leckler now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now a second down throw for Cousins. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Cousins. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Look at the dance and the juke. Another nice move. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And now out come the Bills. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On second down, here's Allen. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A very solid gain of 27.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Allen looks to throw on second down. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Andre Holmes, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game.
All right, partner, let's go to cliche time. We're all back to even after that score tied the game.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Here comes Sherrills. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a run with Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On the ground, it's Cook. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. A handoff. It's Murray. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And they're not going to get the kick off in time.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Carlson able to put this one through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization. Because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. 6 seconds now, 5 seconds. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Thanks for